3 times Sanemi and Giyuu are mistaken as Muichirou's parents, and the one time they use it to their advantage. By Sopenation. Summary. Do my flamboyant eyes deceive me? Tengen flashes a crooked smile. Or are the 3 of you getting along like a happy family? Everyone in the room immediately turns to the trio that had captured his attention. Or, Muichirou's resemblance with the 2 pillars gets too uncanny to ignore, and Sanemi and Giyuu are more protective over the young boy than they let on. Lunch is a lively affair. It usually is whenever Oyakata-sama hosts one, sparing no expense to fulfill their appetites and encourage team building. Alcohol is kept to a minimum, though, because it's daytime and they still have jobs to do, which meant Tengen's high spirits was all him. Do my flamboyant eyes deceive me? Tengen flashes a crooked smile. Or are the 3 of you getting along like a happy family? Everyone in the room immediately turns to the trio that had captured his attention. Somehow or another, Muichirou had found himself wedged between Sanemi and Giyuu, acting almost like some sort of argument prevention barrier just by existing. And the miraculous thing is, it works. Truthfully, it's a bit terrifying how well they've gotten along this entire afternoon, united as they were in their singular goal to stuff Muichirou full of food. The boy's cheeks were significantly chubbier now, a testament to their overwhelming success. Sanemi stops where he's lecturing Muichirou about eating his vegetables long enough to glare at the sound pillar. You're about to have no eyes at all if you keep talking bullshit, he spat. I have no idea what you're saying, Uzui-san, Giyuu answers, maintaining his aloof demeanor. It proves to be far less effective when he's clearly in the middle of rolling Muichirou's sleeves up so they don't fall into his bowl. The young boy makes a face, staring down at his plate. Prawns are so annoying to peel. Giyuu instinctively reaches over. Here, I'll do it for you. Oi, Tomioka, if you keep babying him, he'll never do it himself, Sanemi snaps, like he isn't actively fishing out cuts of meat from the hot pot to pile on Muichirou's plate. It's just prawns. Then he's going to ask you to peel his prawns for him every damn time. How many times do you think I eat prawns? Muichirou deadpans. Tengen leans back in his chair, resting his hands behind his head smugly as he watches the scene unfold. I rest my case. Now that you mention it, they do kind of resemble each other, Obanai agrees snarkily, ignoring his best friend's scathing look. What a lovely image, Mitsuri gasps, hands flying to her cheeks. They're all so beautiful together. They certainly do look alike, Rengoku announces, heartily munching on some tempura. Namu Amido Butsu. Their affection for Tokito-kun is heartwarming, Hamejima murmurs. Tomioka-san, are you sure Tokito-kun isn't related to you in any way? Shinobu teases. Giyuu blinks at this. He turns to stare at the boy next to him, taking in the long black hair, blue eyes, and blank expression, like it's his first time noticing them. Tokito, are we? Muichirou shrugs. I wouldn't remember anyway. Wait, so we all know Tokito is a dead ringer for Tomioka, but what about Shinasagawa? What traits did Tokito inherit from him? If it wasn't obvious enough, Uzui was having the time of his life. What the fuck? Don't rope me into this! Obanai snaps his fingers. I got it, he smirks. Tokito must have gotten his foul mouth from somewhere. And Sanemi swears so much, it's no wonder Tokito picked it up at some point. No, he fucking didn't. And I don't fucking swear that much. Heterochromic eyes stare down at him. Be serious, Sanemi. The scarred man groans. I literally hate you so much. Giyuu interrupts him. Shinasagawa-san, can you pass me the jug? Huh? Okay. Giyuu mutters a quiet thanks, filling up his and Muichirou's glasses. The latter goes to tug on the wind-pillar sleeve, teal eyes wide and pleading. Can you make that rap again? Sanemi clicks his tongue, but his hands move on their own to place salmon, cucumber, and a pickled daikon onto a piece of seaweed. You're too spoiled, brat. From the other side of the table, Shinobu watches on in faint exasperation. And who's doing the spoiling? Although she won't deny, it warms her heart to see Muichirou being so thoroughly taken care of. Every one of them had a soft spot for their youngest, and they all went to great lengths to try and preserve some of his childhood. Some more than others, it seems. Still, who would have thought he'd be the one to unite Sanemi and Giyuu? "How's the mochi?" Giyuu asks conversationally, nursing a cup of tea. It's a bit too weak for his tastes, but he doesn't have the heart to tell Sumi that after she'd raved about this new brand for him to try. From across him, Muichirou is silent for a worrying long time as he chews. Sticky. Giyuu accepts that it's the only reply he's gonna get. He doesn't really mind. He knows that the boy isn't doing it to be mean or dismissive. Sometimes it just took a little bit longer for him to gather his stray thoughts. Muichirou's sleeves don't drag across the table and the food any more when he reaches for another plate. Giyuu is secretly pleased with himself for having the foresight to help him roll up his sleeves early this time. Minutes drift by in comfortable silence. Giyuu rarely gets to sit and enjoy afternoon tea, even less so with their youngest pillar. All it takes is one look at Muichirou's full cheeks and he's flooded with immense gratitude for Aoi for dragging them here after their respective checkups, albeit forcefully. He takes another sip, gaze fixed on the clouds above before another presence strides in to demand his attention. Literally. A man points a menacing finger in his direction, jaw clenched in anger. "You!" "Who?" Muichirou mumbles absent-mindedly. Giyuu lights up. "Shinosagawa-san, would you like to join us?" Their newest arrival storms over before he can finish his sentence, shoving something into his chest so roughly that he nearly topples over. "How many times do I have to tell you to drop it?" he seethes. "I don't want your ohagi." Giyuu looks down at the neatly wrapped package. "But you like ohagi." Bloodshot eyes twitch. He opens his mouth to say something, only to do a double-take when he realizes Muichirou's there and still chewing away without a care in the world. It looks like the scarred man is having some internal conflict with himself, because his face twists up into a pained expression that lasts for a few seconds. Giyuu guesses he's made up his mind when he moves over to where Muichirou's sitting to crouch behind him and slam his hands over Muichirou's ears. A startled noise slips past the younger boy's lips. Sanemi takes a long, deep breath before he goes absolutely wild. "For the last fucking time, I'm going to make myself clear, so you better listen up, you rat-ass-looking motherfucker." Giyuu watches on in equal parts amazement and horror at the sheer amount of profanities falling from Sanemi's mouth. "Never, and I mean fucking never, do I want to see another ohagi from you again. Who knows if it's contaminated with your greasy-ass hair? You don't even look like you know what fucking soap is, for fuck's sake." Giyuu wants to protest that he has good hygiene. Orokodaki would have fed him to the wolves without hesitation if he hadn't washed his hands before dinner, but decides against it when Sanemi immediately bares his teeth at him. "I don't know what your fucking game is, but I am not playing it. So you can just go shove that shit up your ass, got it?" Muichirou had seemingly recovered from his sudden hearing loss and was back to munching on his mochi, completely unfazed as Sanemi stops to rein in his breath, chest heaving. He slowly retracts his hands, staring at Giyuu straight in the eye. "Do I make myself clear?" he asks venomously. Giyuu nods. "No ohagi," he repeats in a monotone voice. Sanemi breathes a sigh of relief. Giyuu pushes his plate towards him. "Would you like some dango instead?" Muichirou pipes up before the white-haired man actually pops a vein. "The dango is good too," he says quietly, brushing mochi powder from his fingers. This gives Sanemi pause. His gaze darts between the tempting skewers and the big teal eyes, and they all know straight away that he's lost the battle. "Just this one," he relents, grabbing a skewer for himself. He then proceeds to, very pettily, dump all the snacks from Giyuu's plate onto Muichirou's own. "You have to eat more, kid." Sanemi mutters gruffly. He starts to walk away, not before turning around one last time to give Giyuu the finger, behind Muichirou's back, of course. The boy stares blankly at the mountain of mochi in front of him. "I can't eat all that." "I know you can't. We can let the butterfly girls have them afterwards." There's a beat of silence when the teen goes to poke at one of the sticky treats. Oh, and just so you know. Muichirou looks at him dead in the eye, expression giving nothing away. I heard everything earlier. Giyuu winces. Everything? Everything. Just don't let him hear you say that. Unbeknownst to them, Aoi had been in the garden hanging up the laundry the whole time. She busies herself by working faster, mind still reeling from having witnessed the interactions between the three pillars. What on earth did I just see? When Muichirou is dispatched on missions, it's rare for him to encounter other slayers. Rarer still is it for him to bump into another pillar. Needless to say, encountering two at the same time was practically unheard of. It's through sheer coincidence alone that Muichirou jumps into the fray at the exact moment Sanemi and Giyuu do, both of them sporting comically wide-eyed looks when they catch sight of the other. "The fuck are you guys doing here?" Sanemi snarls, eyes darting around for signs of the demon. Giyuu looks utterly confused at his question. "The same as you. We have the same job, Shinazagawa-san." "Don't be a fucking smartass!" Muichirou surveys his surroundings calmly. "This region can't be assigned to all of us," he reflects. Sanemi crosses his arms. "I was done with my patrol and already passing by. My crow must have sent me the wrong directions." Giyuu's brows knit. "Again? Let that damn thing retire already." I can't bring myself to tell him that. "Yeah, well, the crow is going to find itself in a demon's fucking stomach one day if it doesn't retire." Muichirou tunes out the rest of their conversation. Either the demon was exceptionally skilled in masking its presence, or the two men's bickering had already chased it away. 3 pillars in one place? My, what a lovely surprise. It takes less than a second for all three of them to shift into their battle stances, swords at the ready as they glare up at the demon within the trees. A wicked smile stretches across Sanemi's face. "I'll give you a fucking surprise, all right. Let's see how you like it when your head's rolling on the ground." The demon scoffs, red eyes narrowing. "We'll see about that." Giyuu's head whips towards the white-haired man. "What are you doing?" he hisses. "Stop provoking it." "You're telling me you don't do this?" "Unlike you, I just kill the demon and leave." "Oh, so that makes you so much better than me." Sanemi snaps back. "I never said that." This time, Muichirou doesn't even have the luxury of tuning them out, seeing as they are quite literally arguing over his head. Why he chose to stand in the middle, he'll never know. He contemplates knocking them out for the briefest moments, just so he can get on with the damn mission already. The demon looked highly amused. "Fighting amongst yourselves? I never expected this. Is this really the Demon Slayer Corps' best?" Sanemi jabs his sword at him. "Shut it, fuckface!" "Such language," the demon tuts. "You know, you should really listen to your husband." Muichirou witnesses the very instant both men's brain cells collectively explode. "My what?" "Husband?" Giyuu's breath hitches, eyes involuntarily darting to Sanemi. The wind pillar looked like he was about to combust any minute now. "Right, so will you two lovebirds get on with it already?" Muichirou drawls. Giyuu looks mortified. "Why the fuck are you making it worse? What the fuck?" The demon hums, sounding thoughtful. "I knew demon slaying was passed down generations, but I've never actually seen a family fighting together." He strokes his chin, observing Muichirou closely. The eerie grin curls across his lips, right as his eyeball rotates in his socket, flashing Lower Moon 3 into vivid scarlet. "How wonderful! This means I can end your bloodline in one go." Giyuu tenses. Muichirou scowls. Sanemi bares his teeth. "Bring it on!" Chaos erupts. Sanemi and Muichirou lunge forward, delivering a series of unforgiving slashes in quick succession. Giyuu took the rear, fending off its blood demon art, long poisonous vines that sprouted from the ground in rapid seeds, slicing through them with deadly accuracy. He's slightly surprised at how well their fighting styles meshed together, mist intermingling with wind as easily as it disperses into water. Muichirou has never been one to take note of his colleagues' abilities, but now that he's seeing them up close, Sanemi, loud and brash, and Giyuu, calm and collected, it serves to take his breath away. That doesn't mean he plans on falling behind, though. When the dust settles, Muichirou sheathes his blade. The lower moon's head has already fallen to the ground with an unceremonious thud, his features frozen in shock. Sanemi strides up to kick the crumbling head. "Told you we'd cut your fucking head off," he sneers. "Cat got your tongue. What happened to you running your mouth earlier?" Muichirou taunts, leaning over the disintegrating demon. Giyuu watches on in quiet dismay. "I can't believe it runs in the family." The demon trembles, gaze flicking wildly between the two of them. "You're the real demons here, you monsters," he accuses, thrashing around frantically. His words die down when Sanemi promptly slams a foot into his face, stepping away to reveal a pile of ashes. He clicks his tongue. "Annoying bastard." Muichirou walks past him with a scoff. "Says you." Sanemi whirls around to glare at him. "You little shit, I still haven't forgiven you for that stunt you pulled back there. Oi, don't fucking ignore me." Giyuu sighs and slumps against a tree. The similarities were seriously starting to give him a headache. In retrospect, third-wheeling with Open-Eye and Mitsuri doesn't sound like such a bad idea anymore. In the past hour alone, they've somehow managed to lose Muichirou 7 times, and, big surprise, Giyuu was being fucking useless, seeing as he keeps getting stopped by blushing girls who have no sense of boundaries. For the record, no, Sanemi does not give a damn about shitty girls who have shitty tastes in men. He honestly couldn't care less that Giyuu was dolled up in a yukata and looking significantly prettier than usual. That's a lie. He would have appreciated it very much, actually, if he wasn't stuck dragging Muichirou away from yet another goldfish scooping game with that dead-eyed bastard nowhere to be seen. "Why can't I get one?" the boy sulks, deliberately making it as difficult as possible for Sanemi to drag him away. Sanemi has half a mind to abandon him right then and there. "Because you can't even remember to brush your hair most days," he replies through gritted teeth, keeping an ironclad grip on Muichirou's sleeve as they weave through the crowd. "What makes you think you can take care of a fish?" "My hair. Have you looked at yours?" "That's it! I'm killing you when we get back, twerp." "Tomioka-san would never let you." A pause. "Where is Tomioka-san anyway?" Sanemi grunts. "Don't know, don't care." "Something tells me you're lying." "Is this the same something that keeps getting you lost, too? If so, then don't fucking listen to it." Muichirou ignores him, completely, gaze fixed somewhere in the distance. "Found him," he announces flatly. Sanemi doesn't know what to expect when he turns around, but a girl clinging tightly to Giyuu's arm was so far from it that it causes him to see red for a second, which is ironic since he's colorblind. "Fucking piece of shit!" Sanemi curses, burning a hole into the girl's hair. She's uncomfortably close to Giyuu's face now, and he takes a couple steps back in response. "Thinks he's so above us that he can just ditch us any time he wants to flirt with girls." "Are you jealous, Shinizagawa-san?" "Fuck no! Who'd be jealous of that girl?" Muichirou raises a brow. "I never said it was the girl you were jealous of." Okay, Sanemi was seriously going to abandon him this time. He massages his temples, and for the first time in his miserable life questions whether Oyakata-sama made the right judgment. "A festival?" The master nods. "Will you go with Muichirou-kun and Tomioka?" "With all due respect, master. What the fuck?" Kagaya laughs, soft and airy. "I've noticed your relationship with them has grown stronger. I hope this festival helps you to forge deeper bonds." Desperation was not a good look on Sanemi. "But what about our missions and the other pillars?" "Worry not, my child." Kagaya hums, voice akin to a soothing balm. "The festival takes place over 3 days. Everyone else has already paired up to enjoy it on their respective days." When Sanemi doesn't reply, Kagaya just smiles. "I hope you'll get along. Rest assured of my faith in you." The words echo in his head, shaking Sanemi out of his anger. What the fuck was he thinking, acting so shamefully by doubting his master? "Come on," he mutters, dragging Muichirou along with renewed conviction. "Where are we going?" "We," Sanemi grits his teeth, sights set on Giyuu, "are going to have a great fucking time together." That sounds scary when you say it. Sanemi doesn't bother replying. He catches Giyuu's eye and doesn't miss the obvious sigh of relief he lets out. Turning to the girl, Giyuu gently pries her hands off of him. "Excuse me, I have to go. I'm with them." He nods in their direction, and Sanemi relishes in the horror that flickers across her features. "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't think—" "Clearly you didn't," Sanemi sneers. The girl flushes, bowing her head. "I apologize. Please have a good time with your family." And then she's off, before Sanemi can even allow her words to sink in. "Family?" He blanches, staring after her retreating figure. Someone taps his arm, and he spins around to look into deep blue eyes. "You're back," Giyuu breathes, sounding slightly amazed. "And you found Tokito?" The boy flashes a peace sign in response. Sanemi scoffs. "Yeah, no thanks to you. I've had to chase after you two idiots this entire time we've been here." To his credit, Giyuu had the decency to appear ashamed. Muichirou, on the other hand, looked like he thoroughly enjoyed Sanemi running around like a headless chicken. "Sorry about that," Giyuu mumbles, brushing a few strands from Muichirou's yukata. "I'll make it up to you. Lunch is on me?" "Fuck yes, I'm starving." "Me too. Can we get ramen?" Muichirou asks, wrapping his arm around Giyuu's. This time, there's no burning fire in the pits of Sanemi's stomach. No wave of fury that makes his blood boil. In his eyes, the boy looked perfectly at home by Giyuu's side, dressed in matching yukatas of blue and mint green. "Okay, I think we passed by a stall earlier." Giyuu's smile is fond, the kind that makes your cheeks flush and your thoughts race and your heart stop. Not that Sanemi would know anything about that, he's just making an observation. The streets leading up to the stall are packed, but the chances of Muichirou wandering off on his own are zero now that he's flanked by the two of them. "There it is," he points out. Up ahead, emblazoned in big, bright letters on the sign outside the stall, is "Family Promotion. Kids eat for free." A knowing look passes between both men. Giyuu reaches for his hand, and in the most monotone voice ever, he says, "Let's go, son." "Eyes on the prize, brat." Sanemi slaps his back, regarding the stall with the same intensity he uses when staring down a demon. "Neither of you two are old enough to be my parents," he deadpans, but the promise of free food is too tempting to ignore, and so all logic flies out the window. They get in line. "Just for today, you'll be Tomioka Muichirou." Sanemi gapes at him. "What the fuck? Why is he taking your name?" Giyuu seems puzzled that this is even a question. "Of course he's taking my name. He looks like me the most." "It takes two to have a kid, asshole." Muichirou is small, gross, goes unnoticed by them, preoccupied as they are by their petty argument. "Shinizugawa Muichirou." Sanemi's glare could have burned whole cities down. Giyuu stands his ground. "Tomioka Muichirou." They've reached the front of the line with still no conclusion drawn. Muichirou looks at the waitress straight in the eye. "I'm adopted," he says calmly. Behind him, both men awaited her reaction with bated breath. Giyuu squeezes his hand, and Sanemi winds a protective arm around his shoulder. Muichirou doesn't even think they get half as nervous facing a demon. To their relief, the waitress just smiles brightly. "No problem, family is family," she chirps, ushering them to their seats. It's only when they get their menus that Muichirou speaks up again. "You hear that? Surnames don't matter," he says quietly, near imperceptible against the din of the festival. "Family is family." Giyuu and Sanemi shared a shocked look over his head. Sometimes they get so used to caring for him that they forget how mature he can be for his age. A tentative smile spreads across Giyuu's face, and this time, Sanemi smiles back. Notes: Sanemi likes to think he's protecting Muichirou's innocence, but in reality, Muichirou probably got most of his swear words from him. Neither of you two are old enough to be my parents, he deadpans. But the promise of free food is too tempting to ignore, so all logic flies out the window. And you found Tokito? The boy flashes a peace sign in response.